commercials, dogs in court, and 30 Seconds with Amy. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
Are Brazilian, and now every time I shake my shoulders, I let my tits go wild, and it makes me think that I'm just inspired by their freedom. Shake it, lady. And they're like, it's like Homer Simpson's stomach. They just go, like you slap it, and then they just go, 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 go. The undulation never stops. It's like the ocean.
I love that.
It's like the ocean.
I love that.
How are you, Melissa?
Hi, Amy. I'm great.
Great?
I know. Is it legal to be great without cause?
Yes.
Well, I feel like you last Wednesday to Sunday before the Sunday hit you in the fucking face.
I had such a great joy dance, and then all of a sudden someone pantsed me. Yeah, and it was like, what? What
you can't
happened?
really recover from that.
No,
can
but
you?
now, yes, you can, because now you've gotten the unexpected, unwarranted,
undeserved.
inexplicable
Keep going.
joy.
Inexplicable.
Joy. Yeah, I love it.
It is. And I would like to start this very episode with 30 Seconds with Amy.
Oh, she wants
I know,
to
right
take
out
it
of the
down
gate.
a bit.
I know, take it down. Right out of the gate. I'm going to ask you, my sweet, sweet friend, who's drinking a frothy, delicious-looking coffee drink. Did you offer that to the guy who was just doing work in your house?
Nope.
That's a good girl. I have a man repairing our fireplaces right now.
Oh, okay.
There's a light switch next to my bed.
Yes.
That does the same thing as the remote for the fireplace and turns on.
Or it would.
Right. The fireplace in a room below my room. And that is unacceptable unless, carbon monoxide is your choice of death by.
Bingo.
So
That's
all right.
a bingo. That's a bingo.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm giving you 30 seconds.
Here we go. Hit.
In the next 30 seconds, Amy, please tell me as many of these things as you can. Tell me 30 seconds worth of things that bring Amy joy. Go.
Sunshine, pickles, laughter, art, puppies, children, love, sex, swimming, loafing, sleep, pillows, pedicures, reading books, going to movies, acting in plays, swings. That's not true. I hate swings. Music. I'm come back to bananas, and I don't even like bananas.
I don't know how to give you credit.
Flowers.
Stop.
Yeah.
It's over. Amy.
Huh?
You can legally fill your days with those things.
No.
They're all easily accessible.
No, there are county-wide limits on bananas. It's true.
You don't even like bananas.
I know. I should edit my list. I can fill my days with these things.
You can. And I'm realizing this. And the reason for today's question is because I discovered, comes and goes, right? I discovered the Billy Joel channel is back on Sirius.
I discovered it just today, too.
Did you?
I swear to God, the universe has aligned us. What's next?
I don't know, but for me, that's instant joy.
It was pretty good, even though the two selections that I heard in my brief travels were shitty. And I still thought, I'm going to go with you, Will. I'm here. I'm here for it. What
William Joel, because you called him Will, what William Joel song was shitty?
Pressure.
I'm not a huge
fan.
fan.
The only thing worse would be like Allentown.
I heard that today on my way home to come podcast.
No, I don't want this from you ever. Keep your fingers on the piano and just maybe close your mouth some.
I like both of those songs in their time and place, but I just heard My Life on my way home from the post office, and I just did not. Well, once I got there, it was My Life getting there and Big Shot on the way home.
Yeah. I got Captain Jack and Pressure. So it's not great.
Ballad wise, they are superior to other ballads, right? I love them. I love
Captain Jack does get me high tonight. So I'm here to tell you, but I don't want the no, I don't need this from you. Please.
I introduced my daughter to Glass Houses from start to finish, which is by far the best album.
False. Stranger. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking.
Stranger is excellent as well. I'm standing by Glass Houses. And she got in the car with me after a semester of college and something came on, I guess the Billy Joel channel. And she goes, I could listen from cover to cover. First of all, what do you know about covers? Because albums don't exist.
Joy. Add to the joy
Glass
list.
Houses. Yes.
Children's musical references for 100. Yeah.
So getting to see William Joel back on the channel, and also the guy at the post office, the sole practitioner there, said it's not a Friday without seeing Melissa.
Wow.
And I thought, first of all, I'm not here that often. And second of all, thank you. And then he said, do you mail things to people other than Amy in North Kakalaki? And I said,
I guess I'm getting some. Yeah.
And I said, not really. I said that Pittsburgh and the Burrito, those are the two places that I mail things. But I do it with enough frequency that he likes seeing me on Fridays. Again, Billy Joel and Random Ken at the post office made my day. And then I knew I was coming home to record with you, and it's a good fucking day.
And the sun is shining, and the birds are twerping, and
we don't really have sunshine.
I guess they tweet. What the fuck is the matter with my? I'm gonna stop talking.
Look, all I know is you're having trouble with words, and all I know is I need you to use words correctly. So I'm about to panic.
It's a good time to have a podcast.
I'm about to panic. Oh, and I had lunch with my girlfriend today.
Nice.
Which brings me to my first topic of choice today, which is dogs in court.
Wow.
How do you feel about therapy dogs anywhere, everywhere, where you go?
So they're not like the attorneys. It's not like they're playing poker and that's one's the judge and then the other make up the jury.
They are not in a painting. Correct. They are real, fuzzy, and slightly distracting. But yes, they're real. How do you feel about that?
I think dogs get to go to court. I think if they fuck up, they should have representation. I think working dogs don't hate on the workers, man. The workers have rights. Yes, I think the dog deserves to go to court.
So you're telling me you think dogs deserve their day in court? And
yes.
I think what I'm asking is, okay, so the human with whom I had lunch today, one of my favorite humans, is a public defender.
Oh, okay.
I know, but she's doing God's work, right?
Okay.
Isn't that God's work?
I guess.
Everybody deserves a defense.
Do they, though? Does she deliver shaky defense for people she doesn't like?
No, she is badass to the point that she is a tribe member and she is defending this man for deplorable things. And then he goes to raise his right hand, and on the inside of his right hand is a swastika.
Ew.
And she still, to the best of her ability, defended this human, and loosely used human.
Well, here's how we're going to get around that one. When you legitimately love the law, when you legitimately honor and respect and live in service of the law, that's who she's serving. Because the law serves us all equally, or the law fails. So when she is in service to what she loves, Nazis get their day in court. Did the dog bite the Nazi? I mean, how much can we...
It's two different stories. So she is not... I don't want to tell you this, but she is the woman who eats an almond in 10 servings. And
oh my God.
Remember that story?
Oh
yeah.
my God. That's her cosmic punishment for getting Nazis a break.
But she told me today that she feels that no service animals, meaning therapy dogs, they don't belong in court.
No. Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course. Why would they not? Of course they do.
Because, and here's her reasoning, I'm like, I'm going to hear you out because I love you and because I feel like you've been abused at some point of your life because I've seen you eat an almond or a piece of an almond. I
feel like food processors do a quicker job. Let's hurry it up.
Benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Why? What is she said they make the person testifying too sympathetic.
Oh, yeah, makes her job harder. Sure. Yeah, too bad.
Nobody's looking at that guy or the lie he's telling. They're looking at this beautiful lab that's sitting with his head on his lap and he's petting to make him. You will never be found as a liar or wrong if there is a sweet dog comforting you. A sweet dog wearing a vest that says.
I don't know, man.
It gives more credibility to the testifier.
But I'll still send your dick to jail. I'm ruthless. I got no problem. I will separate that dog. I think you're beautiful. Thank you for coming to make my day more enjoyable, dog. And guess where you're going after this? Prison. Somewhere by yourself, because I'm sending that cracker to jail. Lock him up.
Yeah, she feels that it's definitely skewed. And I thought she was crazy until she finished her story. I was like, all right, I can kind of see it because I didn't hear a word he said. All I was thinking was, I want to kiss the lips of that dog right now.
Wow.
I want to kiss the whiskers off your face. I want to love on you.
It's not getting better. You keep making it worse. I thought maybe we were at the point. Holy. All right.
You think that's worse than making them eat their own eye boogers? Really?
All we're in the worst universe. It's really just levels in the apartment building. You're the doorman.
Somebody's username from the doorman. Here's somebody's username on Peloton this morning was the worst Avenger. And they got a shout out. And I was like, yeah. Wait,
PMS Avenger. I only work 3 days a month.
Right?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
What are you, Jeremy Renner? Is he okay? Have you heard if Jeremy Renner's okay? He is clearly the worst Avenger, right?
He tweeted. Oh.
Come on.
No, there's got to be somebody worse. Quickly.
Tell me.
Quickly, there's got to be somebody worse than him. God,
nope.
He is the worst. How about that one? No, how about that one? How about the one with the tennis shoes where all he is fast?
He's dead.
That's worse. And Jeremy Renner killed him. Oh, it still doesn't make him a good.
It doesn't make it better. I want you to be right. I love it when you're right because you're so joyful when you're right.
You know what?
Oh,
you know what?
Right.
Well, I don't really care about that. I'll take it. It's fun. I don't care about it to the point where I'd put it on my joy scale. I mean, it's more of a common occurrence. No, I'm just trying to say, Jeremy Renner, when the world was floating over the planet and he was trying to save everybody, and his answer is, The city is flying. I have a bow and arrow. Nothing makes sense. Just go. And I was like, these are lines that I can relate. Now I trust you. Hawkeye, to save
And I
us.
loved his short series that he did with what's her name, who is fantastic.
Wow. You actually watched it. Okay.
There's not one that's come out that I haven't watched. And I've loved them all. This is a universe in which I could live.
Well, yeah. The MCU. Got it. M for the Melissa.
Did I tell you my daughter registered for her spring semester of classes?
Oh, boy.
As an English major at your alma, she picked a course, one of the higher level honors English courses that is about heroes.
I didn't think she was an English major. I'm so excited to hear about this class.
Right? And
yes.
She is forehead deep in the Marvel universe, and they just told her it's the heroes from the DC universe.
Delete. How do we unenroll? Yeah.
I thought she was going to neck punch me.
You got to drop that class. The word hero is being inappropriately applied in this case.
It doesn't say dark villain hood killers.
No.
What? Sad
cast off dupe. They're the Marvel dupes known as DC Universe. Pass. No.
Even Jeremy Renner is a better hero than most. So what? You're studying Batman? Don't get me wrong. I've loved all of them. Really? Superman and Batman is what you're doing?
They live in their own.
Because they
live in their own universe. I do have a place for them, but it is a lowlier place than Marvel. Let's just own it. We all know this to be the case.
Yeah,
What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for me, fucking Green Lantern? Please. So,
but he's a better superhero.
He might actually be Marvel. I might be dissing on Marvel, but I don't remember
he's
if
a better
DC.
Avenger than Renner. I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Even Batman with his gear and his fun toys is kind of a little. I love Jeremy Renner. I loved him in that other series he did for 10 minutes before Matt Damon took over. Bourne. Wasn't he one of the Bourne?
He was the Bourne Supremacy.
For at least one movie, right? He was. I love him. He's great. They still rode with him this morning as the worst Avenger. He just is. I love you anyway. I have a worst dog. You think I don't love that dog?
How? You can't say that kind of stuff out loud. What is the matter with you?
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I have 3 dogs. One of them is definitely the worst.
Oh my God.
I love him just as much.
No, you don't. If you're putting them in order.
Oh, they're in order.
Oh my God.
They have it.
What are you doing?
Mainly because they don't understand when I say it.
It's not like your favorite burner on the stove. Guess what? Pro tip, they understand. They understand by living with you.
You don't think that back right burner that's closest to all the plastic says, how come she never uses me?
Just happy to be on the stove.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
you know, I feel like in that case, you're grateful you made it out of the warehouse. Everybody's got their level.
All right, if it's that simple.
Yeah, but that's not a living thing capable of giving and receiving love. They know. They know. And they take it out on each other when you're not looking because they're looking and they're constantly trying to jostle. That's how dogs.
They don't
yes,
know.
that's how dogs work. They do a hierarchy
so why
structure.
Doesn't the bad one? Why doesn't the one who's least favorite, still beloved, try to kill me in my sleep and eat me in my sleep? Because
it's got no shot. It's got no shot. It's got no shot.
All right.
So it's about, how high can I climb on this ladder?
And who can I push down to climb on top of?
And who can I push down? It's like in Black Panther. If you want to be the Black Panther, you got to go out onto the waterfall and throw somebody over. If you're not prepared to do it, you're not going to be Black Panther. Even if everybody says you will, you have to kill. And I think that your least loved dog is not prepared to kill over that heartbreak.
I love him just as much.
Don't.
Just such a pain in my ass. He drools. He drools like oil instead of water.
Wow.
When you hand him a treat, there's a rainbow of saliva that goes from your hand all the way to his mouth. Okay. He's fucking disgusting.
Sounds
I love
great.
him, but
that
he's
sounds
disgusting.
lovely. Yes, sounds lovely. Also,
no,
not. It's not lovely. Gross.
Also, on the joy scale, my daughter's been in a great mood. I've had lots of joy. Lunch, today is joy day.
I'm so glad.
Knowing full well that tomorrow is that game that I don't want on TV, as well as the next morning I leave for Florida to parent my parents. And I hate flying. I hate people. I'm tolerant, basically, barely, of my parents. All the things that are negative start Sunday morning, so I am milking the fuck out of today.
You got to do it. You got to do it. And I think that you can, a friend of mine is going through something, and it's one of these unknowns where the outcome was really positive and everybody was excited, and then it was, hold up just a minute there. And I was like, what? I was already ready already. And they're like, well. So it's this really high pressure stakes of, I thought this thing was absolutely going to happen. And now it's like, so, and it's really caused a kind of a tailspin. So what I'm reinforcing with them and now with you.
Yeah.
You have to pre-cap. You have to pre-cap your gratitude. You have to pre-cap your celebration. You have to pre-cap your success.
Keep talking.
You know how when something is over and you do a quick recap, you say, what happened? Well, a pre-cap is what's going to happen. We're going to pre-cap this shit. And we're going to start visualizing arms over the head, fists cheering, mouth wide, ha 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 ha, laughing in reverse Miley Cyrus syndrome, where everything is going to work out right.
And you can buy yourself flowers.
There
and
are
I can love me better.
There are no cheaters, and nobody has rented a house for ne'er-do-welling, and it's all the good stuff, right?
Okay.
So much so that I haven't had an opportunity today, but on my list to do is to actually search for wild celebrations so you can visualize it. Used to be, we do GIFs or little, I'm not even sure where you would find mashups on YouTube or what have you. I'm sure TikTok is all over this crap. Imagine a giant crowd going insane all at once. Somebody seeing the goal, and then it's the reaction shot of the whole bar going wild, or the whole stadium going wild, or people jumping off the couch when the kid gets, his NFL whatever, or you just got into college, or you just won the lottery, and everybody, and they go crazy. I mean, when you watch that kind of stuff, you get swept up even just seeing the excitement and start to anticipate the excitement of knowing how great your Florida trip is going to be, that everybody's healthy, your mother is going to be kind and loving to you. She'll even have bought you a present that's waiting for you wrapped. I know. I'm trying.
I mean, like you're 3 steps off the cliff, but you haven't fallen yet. So I don't understand how you're doing this.
You got to pre-cap. Be grateful and excited for all the good shit that's flowing your way. Just already start getting excited and great. Like, here is another way that it was described to me.
Leap of faith. Okay.
I am in a very long journey to reset, reclaim my body, right?
Your life.
And I'm not doing this, but somebody was saying, I've had it with all these people who are just so fed up of trying to lose weight and they get discouraged and this and that. When you're looking forward to going on your vacation and you're on the airplane, do you sit on the airplane and say, I can't stand being on this airplane. This is unbelievable. It's unacceptable. I don't believe it. Rah, rah, rah. No, you sit on the airplane and you say, I can't wait to land. I can't wait to be on this fantastic vacation. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm excited for it to get here. I'm giddy. Right? I'm planning things that are going to happen.
Pre-cap.
I'm a pre-cap, right? As opposed to I'm dreading what I'm going to wear or this is so awful. You know what I mean? No, when you're looking forward to something that's really good, you behave differently. So why not treat this future event as something that you already have decided is fantastic?
It's going to be great.
And worth looking forward to, and start reinforcing that. And that is going to be the thing you attract into your life. More of this joy, joy, joy moment that you have. You got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? That's what happens.
Amy, did I tell you that I'm going to Florida Sunday morning and it's going to be awesome?
I did hear that.
Did you?
Who are you flying? No Killam Airlines? I'm sorry. It's too bad.
No Killam and must take off on time airlines?
You're not flying Spirit, are you? Who are you flying?
I am not.
See? Already something to look forward to. Because that would not be my choice.
Southwest that canceled a bajillion flights. Nope, not that one either. I
think
this is American.
Thank you. Even if you were flying on Southwest, just imagine how grateful they would be to have anyone fly on their airline ever again. And how kind and loving they're going to be and excited to have a passenger to serve because they didn't want this to happen. The people that you engage with didn't want this blemish. They don't want to go to cocktail parties and say, hi, I work for Southwest. No, nobody wants to say that now.
Begin all of your comments. Like, it's kind of like saying, I defended Bernie Madoff. Like, you just don't say things like that. That's right.
Thank you.
Whatever. Yeah.
And part of it, honestly, is you've got to speak your shit into existence. I vividly recall we went to Chicago last year. I've talked about it on pod. Some of you may recall. We waited for a really long time to get into a once-in-a-lifetime visit, the original Chicago pizza place. We finally got in. It was an excessively long wait. And when they finally seated us, I was just standing to the side, and I leaned over to the hostess as she was it was over an hour, as she was finally seating us. And I said, this is a really hard job, and this was a really hard situation, and I think you're doing a great job. And she started to cry.
Oh, my God.
I didn't tell you this?
No.
She got she fell apart, and immediately, she was so young. She could have been a teenager. She was probably early 20s. I can't tell. She immediately was like a barely standing puddle. And she said, oh, my God, I totally did not think you were going to say that to me. Thank you. This is really hard. Because everybody was unhappy. They had a snafu with the seating situation. And my face must have been the lead army for, I'm going to fuck you up, gal. Because what came out of my mouth was she completely did not expect. So that to me was a level set of, oh, fix your fucking face, gal. Because if she thought you were coming here to bite into her honkers, right? I don't know what that is.
Well, her face is the face that everybody sees that's telling them no, or it's this long. Or
go stand out in the sidewalk again, even though you had a reservation. That was it. We had a reservation, and they couldn't fill it for an hour. So that's not a great situation for anybody to be in. But,
understandably infuriating. Also understandably not her fault, but she is the face. Yeah, that's hard.
But actually brought a tear. So the reality is, I'm pointing it out. I was disconnected from what I might be telegraphing on my face. I want to get better about that, right? I don't think you have this problem. You have a very lovable face. You walk around, you smile all the time. You do. And
I've
I'm just
got
here.
nice teeth. That's why I do that.
You're very kind, and unless you're confused, your confused face kind of looks like somebody's going to get shot. You like when you are confused about what's getting ready to happen, it's a terrifying look on your face. All other looks are great, but when you're thinking through what just happened here, I feel like I'm going to get a shiv to the nuts.
It's possible.
It's quick. It's quick.
It's possible.
Fuck you on the boardwalk is the least of my concerns when you're confused about something. For real.
All of the TikToks now are like, you know what? You want good service on that flight? Bring candy bars. Go to the Hudson News and bring candy bars to the flight attendants.
I think that's stupid. I think
and
that's
I
overkill.
thought, first of all, that's lovely as a human, but as a goal of getting better treatment, what do you think they're doing to me that I'm buying my way out of with a Twix bar both left?
I gotta say, somebody that comes at me, a stranger, who says, I just think you're doing a good job, and the job you did was nothing because I walked past you to sit on my seat in the airline.
Hi. Good
I don't
morning.
want your random candy bar that you probably arsenic glazed, okay? We just live, I'm not that person, but I mean, I am definitely a random act of kindness, but that's not it. Like I feel like that would be super sus, and I would not eat that food. I would definitely, that's a George Santos moment. I would be like, I don't know what you are, but it's not what I'm doing.
I think he also said, like, or go to Starbucks once you're through the gate and bring them coffee. Now, there's one thing I learned from my husband about working in his is medical, but like in a community situation, you don't eat home-baked goods that come from strangers.
I'm just saying, that's why I'm like, I don't know you.
You don't do that.
You can't eat at everybody's house. Like, I don't know what you did to that chocolate.
Love him so much. Dear listener, do you know that TikToker? Because we're going to post him on our page.
So it's worth getting on TikTok for nothing else.
One girl is standing over a pot about to make mac and cheese, and she says, 2 tablespoons of butter, and she's holding a log of butter. She puts it in her mouth and estimates 1.5 inches, bites it off, and spits it into the pot and says, that's about 2 tablespoons. And then his face comes on, handsome black man, and he says, you can't eat at everybody's house. I fell in love with him, and he's right.
So good.
And there are like 30 of them. He's so good. It's so great. And everybody duets and stitches with him. He's fantastic.
I love it. It's very good.
By Menon.
I know. I had someone help us with blinds in our bedroom. We swapped them out, and her last name was Meineke. And it took me 3 different engagements until I finally said, are those your people? And she said, if they were my people, would I be
Do you think I would be
blinds
putting in fucking blinds in your
And I said, I
goddamn
apologize.
house?
I should have known that before I asked the question. She's like, all right. It's just like, you saw me 3 times before you said it. She goes, I used to be a nurse. It would be the first thing everyone said. I'm like, yes, I'm in the ICU because of my Meineke fortune. So yes, no, stop.
What was there? Because I did Amco instead. What was their jingle, Meineke?
AA NCO.
That's what
MCO is Amco. Meineke didn't have one. It was just Meineke muffler. They didn't have a jingle. It's not like swing on down to Ideal. We had a lot of jingles in our Northeast growing up hood.
I loved them. I loved every one of them, and they defined our childhood. You know, you put an interesting thing on the board for today, and it's about commercials and casting calls. And I thought, I really haven't seen, other than watching sports, right? Which we discussed last week and will not recap. Recap. We don't watch commercials in our house. Commercial TV is for, how do you say, chumps.
I watch commercials. I watch a lot of commercials, and I've actually, that's why I put something on the board. So let me set the whole.
Let's do it.
Set the whole setup here. And I'm going to preface the whole thing by saying I don't do this anymore, and here's why. Someone somewhere, could have been a TikTok, errantly said, yeah, how can I explain to my grandmother that news is not an always on situation? It's an hour-long program you watch and then turn off. And I thought to myself, I have become grandma, because I would put it on as my background filler, and then I got accustomed to the dance of different talking head anchors that would come on, right? And their point of view on something and or their focus on whatever the news of the day was. And I sort of got swept up into that around the clock cycle. And it occurred to me, I don't like that. And I don't want that. I'm not even getting anything out of it, meaning it's not entertaining to me. It's not informative to me. It was the distraction is actually causing damage. So I'm not doing that. I just turn the TV off. I don't have anything. If I need sound, I'll put music on. I don't even listen to it anymore. So that's good news. Because I had it on the whole time, it had the function of Saturday morning cartoons, after school TV shows. That was my entire childhood, punctuated by copious advertising. And back in the day, like we said, there were jingles for everybody. 6 kids, count them. And then in that commercial, my favorite is when she says 6 kids and there's all these children standing around her. She goes, count them. One of the kids mouths the words, count them. At the same time, she says it because clearly they've had to take that so many times.
30,000 takes on it. Yeah, like, dude, if you don't get this right, there's craft services for me over there.
So there was another commercial where the woman's lipstick stuck together so bad on the audio that that's all you could hear when she would talk. It was super gross. So all these sorts of, swing on down to ideal. They're all the different cutie things that are going on. Well, now similar low-budget commercials are in rotation on the reg on these news channels because they have to get paid and get filled up by people who can afford to run advertising or care to run advertising. So the cycles of advertising are really sad. They're really sad. It's always life insurance because you're going to die, Medicare because you're super old, and asbestos because you're ready to die.
Don't forget the drugs. Don't forget the drugs. All the different prescription drugs that now
every single pharmaceutical. That's how I have, and Wegovy for PrEP, right? The HIV thing, I know all these ones, right? And if you're taking it, if you don't take Discovy for
if you're allergic to Discovy.
If you have HIV, don't take it. If you're a dog getting a bath with no soap in the bath by someone who's never bathed a dog before, you belong in our commercial. These commercials are so bad. So here's the thing that I adore about these, and Shriners fucking hospitals for kids.
I can't get to that remote fast enough.
God,
I
the
cannot.
Shriners hospitals for kids.
I will trip and cut a dog.
I'm ready to help these kids. I'm ready to help these kids.
And I'm ready to.
You need to pick some better kids. Okay, I'm ready to help these kids. I'm not helping that one with the. He's like what? He's like 21 years old and he's got like a 60-year-old man hairline. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get him a wig. Get him a hat or get him a new job so that we can, right? We got lots of people who can go on there and say, don't you want to help us? We'd like some help.
But if he had a therapy dog with him doing it, I think it would be more successful. The answer is dogs. That's the answer.
Oh, my God. But the commercials that they have, they are so bad. And what I remember from my days of making commercials, this was always the case, right? You would do a photo shoot and you would always pick the best of what was available before you run it.
I think
so whenever you see the world's worst photograph or the world's worst commercial,
best of it,
it is by far and away the best. I'm going to give you some examples that might ring a bell from some other popular channels you may have been watching. Did you ever see something for Balance of Nature vitamins, or is that just a treat that's making its way through the news cycle right now? Because they have a psychopath who wants to sell you. There's this one brain pill that you're supposed to take, and they get all these sad, loose dentured, Coke bottle glass wearing, tucked off in the corner of some basement somewhere, wanting to tell you how their brain is working on Prevagen, right? And these are real people, and you don't need the disclaimer to know they're real people because you could tell the second they're on the screen, right? Balance of Nature takes that 9,000 steps farther, and it has this bug-eyed freak who wants to sit there. He's out of shape. He is unattractive, unintelligible, highly affected, sits there and says, as a dietitian, I've been in the field of dietetics. Dietetics? I've been in the field of nutrition and dietetics my whole life. And I would find that I would get to the end of the day and I haven't had my fruits and vegetables. And a lot of people are you want to slap him so hard. Oh my God. And at the end of the commercial, his big endorsement is, and I just feel like I have something to tell the world, so that's why I'm here. And he has these giant, he's so creepy and gross. I have to find the commercial and post it so we can share the hate. It's so bad. Goalie, do you ever see the one for Goalie Vitamins?
Yeah.
Where that girl's doing this stupid dance?
Do you yell
like
at
she's
the
gonna
TV?
poop?
Do you yell at the TV when you see it?
I do. And I just think to myself, what is wrong with you? How about IHOP? With the fucking pancakes that they're trying to sell now. And the cute gag is that none of these paid, trained, SAG accredited actors don't know how to say Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity. They all try and fake stumble over it. I get so angry. I get so angry. It's like when they had that weird German woman selling the laundry detergent. Do you remember her? And she was doing like the mix-ins, but she was wearing some sort of space suit and her hair was ridiculous. Who is in charge of the stuff?
If I had a nickel for every time my husband and I said, what do you think the casting call for this specific gig was? So we're always like, overweight, dowdy, one-eyed, three-legged.
Right.
Hamster.
So that's my point. So that's my point. So someone from the brand is sitting there approving this and going, that's the face of balance of nature.
We want.
Right. I want a pudgy psychopath with 1 week of anecdotal single person knowledge of the use of our product. He'd used the product for a week. This was their endorsement. I tried it for a week and I can't tell you how much better I feel after 1 week. Do you know how much money they spent for this fucking moron to sit here and tell me how vitamins work? I swear to, it makes me, it's an offense. It's an affront. I don't feel like you're suitably enraged about this. I'm serious.
Well, I've seen it, and I find it sad. I find it more acceptable on your 24-hour news things. Like look at the My Pillow guy. He's got more money than a bajillion people, and he is still the best he could do for his brand and his sales. But then again, we'll go and watch season 107 of The Crown, and we'll be like, oh my God, look who they got for all of these roles. And I'm just trying to pretend like the Queen is not the second biggest villain in the entire Harry Potter universe. And I'm trying to pretend like she's the Queen and not wearing a pink suit and trying to kill me by carving "I will behave" onto my arm in blood. So they have all the good actors, it seems. Timothy Dalton, he came on screen last night, and I said, do you know who that is? I do this a lot with my husband. Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? Yeah. And the answer is always no. I just like being superior at anything with him because of 1,000 reasons, and you're not my marriage counselor, so fuck off. Timothy Dalton, I'm like, he's James Bond. He's 007. Like, he said, no, he's not. And he started to name...
On.
He was. He got at least 2 movies.
No,
right?
I acknowledge that he was cast in that role.
But he didn't make it his bitch the way Daniel Craig did. He didn't wear that tuxedo the way Daniel Craig did.
Even Pierce Brosnan was a better Bond.
A lot of syllables in that last name right there.
Yes.
I think you're confusing him with the Brosnahan lady. But yeah, Pierce Brosnan was even better in Remington Steele.
He's very good. He's very good in Remington Steele.
Right? Do you feel like you're watching retro Remington Steele when you see these crackhead commercials that came on? You could sing with me, and I think Colbert did it the other night. 800-988. What?
Empire.
That's it. Direct. So he said, oh, if you want to call me, call 800-988-2300. And so you know these jingles by Menon is how this whole conversation started.
Oh,
no. That will be in my head for 6 months if I let you finish without screaming through it. Dear listener, I'm sorry. I'll try to cut that out. Yes, those jingles are magic.
In the arms of the angel.
I'm looking at dead dogs right now behind cages.
Flies on eyes.
Viscerally, they bring you there. Why are these crackheads with detergents and Joe Rogan's brain shit? Like, why are they all crackheads? Do you not know what it takes to sell something? I invite you to dig up Clara Peller and ask her the one question that she knows better than anyone, and that's, where's the beef? There are taglines and jingles. There's not throw the three-legged hamster with obesity and an eyeball in front of a screen. That is the wrong way to do it. If ever I was thinking about that product, I'm finding one that has either no ads like this shit or way better than you. You didn't pay enough for advertising for me to buy your product.
I'm a tough critic. I mean, I'm a creative director. I did this for a living. I have ads that have run on national campaigns, international campaigns. So I'm in the business of critiquing the work. I'm not talking about your strategy is showing. I'm not talking about, I think this execution was, a great idea, but it didn't come off. Like, there's lots of little nuanced things, or you're really trying to.
Wrong.
Yeah. I'm talking about who greenlit this shit. And it's like your uncle in accounting would be a better testimonial for you. So I don't even understand the thought process of someone who has the money to promote their own brand saying yes to something this disastrous. It absolutely makes no sense to me, because no one can sell it that good. There is no salesperson who says, you got to trust me. This giant stinky turd is the thing that you need. So it just comes down to, there's an imbecile writing a fat check. And it hurts my head. It hurts my head, my way.
Yeah, it's sad, because as consumers, and you being in the business, we're aware of what you need to do to sell. You're not doing that. You're doing something else altogether that's not engaging me.
And the amount of people that are involved in touching and approving this
before it gets to your eyeballs,
decision, before it could ever be where it is. That's the thing that is astounding to me, that it could have gotten through all of this and still been this bad with nobody raising their hand to say, but do you think? I mean, I don't know. And it's this news cycle right now, to take a hard turn, is focused on the actor, producer Alec Baldwin killing his coworker by pointing a gun as part of a rehearsal of a scene and pulling the trigger, right? And the big debate now has become, as the actor, is it his responsibility to verify again that the gun is empty, right? So I'm just getting to say all the layers. Now there's going to be a legal layer of every single person involved in every single aspect of this thing has a voice and the ability to stand up and say, see, you could have saved a life. You can't play Missy has no voice. Missy says, shut up, shut up, shut up. I used to work with a guy who kept a Post-it note on his laptop that said, shut up, shut up. And then later he added a third Post-it to it that said, shut up. And he underlined it 4 times in Sharpie. So triple shut ups on his own laptop in front of his desk every day. That's not the message you want for yourself. You got to be yelling. You got to be yelling.
Right.
You got to be yelling out. Check that gun, Alec. Or maybe don't point it at me. You could have saved a life. I'm all over the place, but it's important.
No, but he's under scrutiny twice, because he's also a producer. So he's got the 1-2 punch of the nad grab and the punch in the face.
I think he should be on the hook as a producer. I absolutely do. So no problem there.
Less as an actor, more as a producer. If that's your take, I share it.
Actor. The school's still out on that one. I'm not sure where I fall, so I'll wait for the defense to present their case to me before I decide.
To you, because you're the judge now. Will you have a dog in your courtroom?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Well, service dogs only. They're not just there for show. It's not a circus. They're not here to entertain you. Okay.
Dance, puppy.
No. If they're there giving you the nudge because you need to take your diabetes medicine, or you need to sit on the ground, so now all of a sudden on TikTok, I don't know how I stumbled into it.
I get them all.
I'm getting a lot of content about cabbages, and I'm getting a lot of content about service dogs using their nose to make their human behave in such a way. Either sit on the ground in the target.
You're low. Am I low? Let
Drink
me check.
the juice, mama. Boom.
Yeah.
Drink the juice, mama.
And when they look up at that camera that's filming them to say, I just told you were low, do you not want to kiss those whiskers? I want to kiss that face so badly that you might need to take my phone away, because then I start drooling that oil like the dog I resent the most.
Lowly Lord.
So there were 2 losses this past week that kind of break my heart a little.
Oh, no. 2
podcasting friends of ours lost their mom.
Really?
And it was shocking, and it was tragic.
No. I
Yes.
don't want that. That's not what anyone wants in the world.
Our dear friends at Mouse and Weens. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, nobody saw it coming. I sat with these ladies. This Mouse and Weens, if you don't know, is a sisters podcast that we fucking shout about and love. These are two
rightly so
bright, warm, sensitive, amazing humans. Their gimmick, I like coming right out of Broadway, is that one of them, the younger sister, is an academic. She's in I guess they're doing a documentary together right now. So she's in that industry. She also is going back to school for mental therapy, health giver, provider. Look, fuck you. All the words aren't mine today.
She's doing some kind of it's like a nonprofit meets documentary meets filmmaking.
Right.
She's one of those intersectional studiers.
She's wildly creative and fun to talk to. And her sister, for me, is just as much fun to talk to because she's the mom she's got 3 kids. They're in Southern California. Actually, they moved in together. They're the sweetest family. They both share a face with their mother, all 3 of them. They were in a picture climbing a canyon because that's what you fucking do when you live in Southern California. And tragically, they lost their mother this week. And I've had conversations with Joelle where I've said, I'm so jealous of your relationship with your mother. She's amazing. She comes out and spends time, and you travel and you do all these fun things in the vacations. And I felt sick to my stomach when I saw it because she's like, well, I'm sure you have. I'm like, I'm going to stop you right there. I am now pre-capping for a trip to see my mother,
which is going to be great and transformative and take things into
a
new level. That you shouldn't have to, but are excited to finally be doing. Yeah, taking things into a new level. Oh, I'm so sad to hear it for these young women. You know, somebody was David Crosby has passed away.
Yeah,
and the second I got the news, I almost instantly texted my friend Tom, but I was like, just give him a minute because I don't want to be the one to break the news. But I sort of felt cosmically that it would pierce his heart the worst when this news came out. And in the reporting ongoing about this passing, which was well known to many, he was ill, right? They say it just doesn't matter for the people who were involved. You could live 80 years. You could live 8 minutes. It's heartbreaking. 80 years is not enough. And that's the sentiment that I have for Mouse and Weens and their family loss, right? It was, even if it was in any way predicted or expected, not enough time. Not enough. You never know how much time you have, and however much you have is not enough to get it done. So that's a real heartbreak.
So join me, dear listeners, and
sorry.
Send waves of love. I'm not a girl for prayer. I'm just not. But unless, of course, it's the end of the year and I want to be written in the book of life, send with me just waves of love to these ladies and their family. Just for this tragic loss. And David Crosby, you hit it, was the other one. And that is a musical loss. Does that mean for us, women of a certain age, fuck you, that we are going to start again losing these greats? Like, we went through a wave, as opposed to the actor who is missing in California who went hiking 3 days ago and nobody's heard from him since. That's how to go. By the way, you just walk into the woods.
The bony prick who always plays the bad guy.
Yeah, who just went for a walk into the mountains.
I don't believe that he was an avid hiker. I know that's how it's been reported. He doesn't fucking hike. I've seen you. You don't even hike to the elevator or press the button. You're not a hiker.
You brought a bottle of Deer Park. You didn't bring your Hydro Flask. You're a poser.
You are going to be found safe and healthy and well in the chalet that you never left because you were not hiking.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Yes. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Well, you never want to talk about Harry's penis.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do this. Let's just do this real quick.
I wasn't interested until you said something to me, which was, I think that this book, which I got on Audible because I had have all these free credits. And by free credits, I mean I've already paid for them, and they're just sitting in my Audible account.
It's included. Yes,
it's included. Thanks, Nana. My daughter wants to read it. I want to hear it, so I did the audiobook. My
penis was oscillating wildly.
That's it. You made a comment that this is the book that's going to take down the royal family. And I'm watching The Crown season 5, and I'm hearing, why are we still footing the bill for you guys from other people in England. Why is this a thing still? And now I turn to you and say, yes, the youngest son of Diana has written this book, and he talks about losing his virginity, and he talks about going to the North Pole and getting frostbite on his dingle dangle, whatever it is. His frosty Dodger.
Todger. And what was cute and interesting to me about that is evidently there's an entire class structure around the slang used with which to refer to one's penis. So Todger is evidently an upper crusty way to be talking about your big, thick trunk. So I'm not sure, you know.
Give me others. Are there
I don't
others?
know them. Yes, but they were all, you know, a titter as they were reporting this and saying like, well, you could instantly know he was a boarding school chap when he said Todger. I never thought I'd be saying Todger on the telly. And I'm like, oh, just simmer down. Everybody knows you talk about a dick. Like, I mean, in America, do we have hierarchical slang? Do you perceive it such? We must. But I can't think there's like prep school dick talk and how that's somehow elevated. And I don't know the ranking of, you know, genitalia slang. Like, I just don't feel like that's something that I didn't take that course.
But you know that if you heard classless references to a penis, you would say, yeah, that's street talk, or that is grandma. Like, you could place who said it. I think we have that here too. And
I think we have street, I think we have country, and I think we have like prissy, conservative, right? I would break it down thus.
I would like to ask you, dear listener,
I'm sorry,
to tell us all of the euphemisms you have for the Jolly Todger, the
because if you country, you talk about your pecker, right?
Okay, yeah.
People don't say pecker in Philadelphia. We're not talking about your pecker, right? But that's kind of a countrified. I don't know what other things they would say in the South. I don't find myself in the business of discussing people's dicks, but
right.
You know,
right.
There you have it.
There are definitely classier ways. You're talking about another language altogether. Dear listener, I want you to write in and tell me, I don't know, 10 euphemisms for penis. I'm sorry, male genitalia. And I want you to rank them in the classiest or scummiest to classiest, whatever it is. Please write us at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Or if you want to fuck with people,
ooh,
go to any of our social media. Do not reference to what you are typing and just give us a list. I think this will appeal to some people. Find us at Listen Brilliant on Instagram and Twitter. No, that's not a penis reference. Or go to Facebook at Brilliant Observations or Brillob's Squad. We are desperate to hear from you what you think are excellent euphemisms for the male member. Look, there was one.
Yep.
The member. That's how clean it used to be on TV. And now, not so much. That is not at all how you could say anything on TV now.
I don't feel like there is a scummy way to refer to the penis. There's lots of scummy ways to refer to female anatomy in every aspect of her body.
One-eyed worm, cock.
One-eyed worm? Okay. But I kind of feel like that fits into humorous.
It does.
Playful.
Well, to
whimsical.
us it does.
I don't feel like it's scummy. Like that's the thing. Just one more way the patriarchy is holding us down. Is there something where you're talking about a dick in such a way where possessing the dick makes you feel gross? Because that's what happens to slang about women's bodies. It's intended to shame the owner of the body.
Hatchet,
right?
slot, coin slot.
Lord help me stop. I'm just saying, I can't, I probably couldn't come up with 30 different names.
My anaconda don't want none unless you've got buns, hun.
Oh, my Lord.
Anaconda. I think most of it's in music, right? Isn't that where you're going to find the most creative euphemisms? Isn't that poetry with notes?
It is, and all the time is spent focused on the yoni, the chocha. There's not too much of where we're looking at Mr. Johnson, right? It's even he gets a fucking title, right? Stop.
Lady Business used to be the name of Jessica's podcast, which I loved that title,
yes,
right? That's
yes.
so great. So I guess that's really our ask for this week. We want dick euphemisms. I mean, what about dick? Dick is not a Richard. It's if you're not a Nixon, tricky dick. I don't know. There have to be grosser ones that
they knew in the 60s. They knew in the 60s when they were calling him that. They knew what they were saying. Don't tell me that culturally they didn't know. Don't tell me that people were gay and lesbian in that era and they didn't know. Don't fucking tell me. Victorians, maybe. I mean, they didn't really have a lot of books then, and I'm not necessarily, just the information took a long time to get to you. By the 60s, we had printing presses. You could see it. It was happening. There was Andy Warhol. A lot of things. A lot of ways.
Todger. I love dick talk, dick humor. I love it all. I want it all.
You are pro-penis. That's the truth. You're super pro-penis.
I'm anti-Pisha and I'm pro-penis. Correct.
What's anti-Pisha? Does that mean you keep your hair?
I don't know, but I know there's pro-Pisha. So I went anti-Pisha, pro-penis.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear them all. And so does Amy. Don't let her fool you with her, oh, that's not clean or nice. She's in the gutter with me. I met her.
That isn't clean or nice.
I met her in the gutter. I embraced her in the gutter. She's my gutter girl.
I startle easily. I just want to know what's in the room. Okay? That's the difference. Okay?
I startle easy.
I really do. I just need to have a carefully cataloged library where I can access the information and very quickly reshelve it. That's the problem, is when you're just out in the wild and all the dicks come flying at your face and pounding against your body. It's too much. It's too much for me. I need it.
My nana
need it in
used to
tiny
say.
doses.
Too much.
That I can, siphon off if I need to stop it. Right? I don't want it.
I got some fun comments from last week's podcast about your boob leg, and people said that they're going to use that and that they loved it. I'm going to take a boob leg. Why would you take a dog leg if you could take a boob leg ever again?
Right. Thank you.
And that's part of the feedback we got. And there was one last thing, and it was a letter from a listener. It was very brief. She wrote, her name is Michelle, and she wrote to say, my 15-year-old son is an asshole.
Oh!
And I don't want to lose him forever. What do I do? And she did throw in the fact that she and her ex-husband, they are divorced. So in our home, when your son is an asshole, one parent has the explosion, the fight, the whatever, and walks away, and you let everything cool off. And the other parent walks in and says, look, I don't know what the fuck happened here. It's like, I don't want to say good parent, bad parent. We're both parent, whatever it is. I don't know what the fuck exploded, but the language you use, these are not ways to get what you want. Like that double teaming thing. When you are a single parent, Amy, since I know you love not to help,
right?
How do you handle a surly 15-year-old who doesn't engage with you, goes right to their room and plays on the Xbox and doesn't respect you or your time? I can take you to school at this hour, and they come down 30 minutes later and you're fucked because you're what do you do? My answer was simple to my child and spouse who got the email with me at the time. And my daughter said, you take away their stuff. Until I'm like, do I? Is that what I do? Yeah. So they both had answers. I think she was giving me what she hated the most about our punishments. We are past that, and we have the perfect 2020 vision of hindsight. And for the most part, my kids have pulled out of like the worst until worse things happen. But I feel like all's quiet on the Western Front. You know what happened to that guy after he said that, right? Shot right in the head. All's quiet on the Western Front here. So super things. How can you not, help this human who wrote in, dear listener?
The best advice that I can give is from life experience that was painfully learned and now a part of me forever. And I trust it implicitly. And that is to ignore all parenting advice. Here's what I mean. Do not be a parent in this situation. Do not parent this child. Do not worry about teaching this child anything. Do not worry about outcomes. Do not worry about slights that have occurred and disrespect and flagrant abuse of rules. Treat this child as if they have just returned to you from a near-death experience. And sit in gratitude and love and cherish every single second. Reach out and say, I know you're just trying to decompress. You just want to escape into this video game. I'm not here to hassle you. I just want to say, I love you. I'm here for you. And whatever you need, we're going to face it together. I wish you would talk to me about it so I can help you. I want you to know how much I love you. And if loving you means leave me alone right now, that's what I'm going to do. And then tomorrow, I'm going to check right back in with you and I'm going to say, I love you. And here I did this nice thing for you. And if you want to throw it in the trash, it's all right. I did it because I know I want you to have nice things, right? And you do that for like a week. And then this person realizes, oh, there's more to this moment than grades and heartbreak and college rejections and I don't even know what else is going wrong and COVID and all the rest of the fucking world that is too big and too wrong, because it is so easy to forget how tender and lost and testing these young children are in these pretend adult bodies, because they walk around. I have a giant child, and he was a giant man baby child. He was way too big for his age always. And his whole life, we would physically look at him and treat him older than he was because his shape was as big as you. And then you sort of forget, oh, wait a minute. This is just a 6-year-old, right? Sorry, he looks like he's in high school, right? Sorry, people want us to bring a birth certificate when we play on the lacrosse league because you think he's not as old as he is. Guess what? He's a tender little baby tiny pup. And sometimes he act like a stupid tiny pup. And the most important thing that your kid can know is that you love them no matter what. And when they fuck up, you love them twice as much. Just forget the judgment, because guess what? All of that judgment of the kid is just you projecting all of your judgment of yourself onto them. How good of a parent am I? How much have I passed this fucking test, right? So really, it's not about that. The only test you need to pass is when this kid is asked, do your parents love you? If the answer is anything less than of course and more than I can imagine or deserve, that's the only yardstick you should be grading yourself against.
I have very few words for you, considering the fact that your tagline for this segment is "We love not to help." That was the most powerful, effective, clear, and accurate advice, excellent advice that one could give. You all of a sudden lose your not helping credibility.
Shit.
Until next time. When you
take
rally
his
up.
Take his toys away.
That was incredible. And Michelle, if you are listening, please know that's all the right answer. Anything else I would have said would have been petty and hurt. I would have said, say nothing. I would have said, just let it happen.
Well, my point to you is I don't have any idea what's going on with this kid or in this household.
Well, that's
or
the
with
other
this
thing.
Mom,
You don't know
and the
what's
dynamic.
going on.
But that's even more
that's why
positive.
Your advice,
that if you are in a situation where any portion of the time it's just you and this human, right? If you've got to build that bond so that the two of you know I'm a safe place, right? No matter what's going on with mom and dad.
Safe haven, yep.
No matter what's going on with you and dad, right? Whatever's going on with you and mom has got to be good. And it's not about, did you make your bed? Because you're not, okay. So you didn't do anything I asked you to do. Well, I'm going to stop asking you things. And instead we're going to focus on showing love to each other. And I'm going to start, right? It also helps.
I love all of it.
I mean, it just helps to recenter and reground you in what's the most important outcome for this human. And that's to know that you're loved, right? That's your job, to know that you're loved. And so work on that, and the grades and all the rest of that shit. You got fucking time. It'll work out.
Yeah, and 15 is not an age where they appreciate anything. So don't feel completely disrespected because they don't appreciate anything.
You're wasting your time trying to fix that shit. Yeah.
Just keep running into that wall or listen to what Amy said. It's your choice. You can wall it or you can pull an Amy. And at this time, it's always better, really, if you think about it, to pull an Amy. Having said that, dear listener, you have your job for the week. I want dick lines. I want... Give me all of your euphemisms. I want them all. I also want you to flood our friends at Mouse and Weens with just love.
Amen.
So,
amen to that.
So, and if you are one who prays, go for it. Just send them all positive vibes. I love you, Amy. I think it's important
love you
that I tell you that. And I love you too, dear listener. And so does Amy. She talks about it with everybody she sees. She loves you guys so much. I'm just the one who's always, talking.
Gushy.
So I'm sharing it. We love you. We'd love to hear from you. Send love to them and to me in Florida. I need your help. Even though I'm pre-capping. So, yeah, that's it. Take care. Thanks for showing up for us